Welcome in, people. It's Monday Night Football, just a different version of it. The CFP is on, and we are here to answer your questions. This is always my favorite night of the week. Monday night is Q&A night, and we're going to get your questions. You guys make the show. We just provide the answers and our takes, but we're going to mix in your questions with the national championship game as we watch the first half together-ish, something like that. This is Dan Harms, the man in charge of all the evaluations. Well, not all of them, but most of them. You can find him at Bleacher Report, where he is running down the positions you want to know. And you can find me, the NFL 33, together, along with some of our friends like EJ and maybe some new faces as well. We're going to create for you the Rogue Analytics draft guide yet again. And these guys that are on tonight are going to be in it. So, Daniel, how are we feeling?
I'm excited about this game, man. I think Indiana is probably going to steamroll them. I'll be very honest. I don't think it's going to be hugely competitive. I think Miami has been fantastic, but they are just not as well coached as Indiana. They are the maybe the most well coached team I've seen since prime Nick Saban. That is what we are talking about, and I think dealing with at this point. And it makes sense. He's a Saban disciple. So when you have someone like that in charge and he's clearly an adult in the room, it helps the young adults figure their stuff out.
Absolutely. I will tell you, Mario Cristobal reminds me of Thanos. I'm just saying. There's something there to that. So I'm here for it, and I'm going to have a good time. I agree with you. I think keeping up with Indiana offensively is going to be a challenge. But I'm here to say right off the bat, before there's kickoff, folks, that I am a Carson Beck believer. I think he can be a functional starting quarterback in this league. I don't know if he's going to win championships on his arm, but I think he can lead a team. And him getting back to this game with this group on offense, I feel is proof of that. Am I crazy?
I don't think so. I mean, what we saw out of Carson Beck before things went haywire was a talented player. And I thought that he did a very good job of commanding Georgia's offense until it was all on his shoulders. And that was the big thing. He had to do everything for them the year that it went downhill last year. He had to do everything for Georgia. And it was apparent that he's not the guy to do that. But I think he can absolutely be an Alex Smith type quarterback in the NFL. I think that is well within the realm of possibilities. There's enough good flashes on the tape. There's enough athleticism there for him to be successful on the move in the quarterback scramble game, not necessarily run game, but enough there, enough arm talent to execute some throws. But he does need some guardrails. You need to help him be himself. He needs a run game. He needs a good play action game. So his fit in Miami made perfect sense.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I know we have it all lined up. Just want to say hi to our regulars, including Brenda, but to all of you as well. And I want to hit Sean's question first because it's about to happen. So we might as well light this up before I know, Dan, you've already stacked the questions here tonight. And folks, every super chat is going to get an answer, even if we're watching this game. But we're going to try to hit your other topics as well. And we know we need to talk a ton about EB. But Sean wants to know who else to watch here. Ruben Bain is just one of the pass rushers. You need to watch Akeem Messidor on the other side. Personally, I love what Keontae Scott does. He's not consistent, at least in the film that I've watched to this point. Dan's watched more film on him, but I need somebody with big playability, and he has it.
You got to watch. I mean, Keontae Scott, my biggest issue with him is that the only thing he does well is blitz. That's a problem. I mean, in tackle, and he'll throw his body around, his small frame in the run game. Like, he's not afraid to do that, but he's predominantly an impact player in the pass game when he's blitzing. When he's out there in coverage, he's just a guy. So that's something that you have to watch and see what happens. Also, they've got another senior safety in Jacoby Thomas to watch as well. On the other side, D'Angelo Pons, cornerback for Indiana, is one of the best in college football. They also have Kamara as a defensive end who's going to be – he's starting to come on a little bit more for them, obviously. So there's Riley Nowakowski. We talked about him last night. Indiana's H-back is someone else to watch in this game. Roman Hemby, the running back. Maybe not for this year, obviously. Charlie Becker, wide receiver. But both of the wide receivers, Surratt and Omar Cooper Jr. are both guys that are going to be in the draft as well to watch. There's a lot of players to watch in this game, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
For those of you that are not happy with Jalen Moore, watch Mawanoa, 61, the right tackle for Miami. I personally feel he probably slides into guard in the NFL, but it depends on the team. And I like the way that he plays. So keep an eye
Yeah.
on him as well. And then CJ, what's his last name? The receiver in Miami's?
I can't. I for the life of me can't remember.
I can't either. It totally ran out of my head. He was on my list to begin with, folks. But that's where we're at. So while we've run down who to watch here, and we'll call out numbers as we go a little bit, as they're about to do some of the pregame
There it is,
festivities.
Perry.
Let's
Thank
get
you.
to the
CJ
questions. CJ Daniels. Thank you, Perry. Appreciate you. And Perry, I did see your comment on Locked On Chiefs Live tonight. I saw it just as we were ending, so I apologize that we didn't get to it. But we are going to get here to your questions. Why don't we get started, Dan? And I'm gonna mute the pregame festivities here because I'm here for the action.
All right, guys. Here's the big news. You all know Eric Bieniemy is your offensive coordinator going forward. We have not only Knives comes in. I called it. They're definitely going to be EB again. They need accountability, and they needed him to bring out the best in the running back room, and he will do both. I hope to find the new offensive line coach, and we'll be cooking. Kellen's in here talking about Eric Bieniemy, also Swag, Brad. You got everyone wants to know, right? So I do apologize. We're not going to put every single question about Eric Bieniemy up on the show tonight. I have thoughts. Okay, I have lots of thoughts, and I'm going to start this because I go through my initial reaction phase and then into actual analytically looking at it, right? Obviously, I wasn't enthused with the immediate, we're going to pretty much bring back Eric Bieniemy like right away. There was never any question about it. It was obviously a conversation held indoors, or excuse me, behind closed doors. There was never any discussion about bringing somebody else in for an interview. I think that part of the process is my frustration. At the end of the day, if they went and they landed on Eric Bieniemy, then okay. All right. Not a big deal. I can hear what's going on, by the way. I can hear that.
I'll stop it then. Sorry.
It's all good. I just wanted to let you know that I could hear that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So if you land on Eric Bieniemy out of all the guys, fine. Okay, no big deal. However, I've gotten through my process. I've thought about a lot of things. I'm actually pretty happy with bringing Eric Bieniemy back. And my biggest thing that I've gone to is I've listened to a lot of Mitchell Schwartz, people in this, I guess you could say, industry that have watched the Chiefs for a long time. I've also watched them myself. And the one thing that I will tell you is that Andy Reid's feelings about execution are not unfounded. Not at all. I believe there is a lot of the offense that works very well. What's the one gripe that I think we've had? It's the run game. They don't do a good enough job. The running backs aren't being taught properly. What do you think Eric Bieniemy is going to do with the running back room? What do you think he's going to do with the run game? What do you think he's going to demand of the players? And do you believe, which I do, that he's going to challenge Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in specific situations? As much as going back to the well is a frustrating thing to see, as much as the process might not have been what I wanted to see from Andy Reid, to look elsewhere. I don't believe that his qualms with his offense are unfounded. I think that Eric Bieniemy can improve the offense, can improve the run game. And at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes loves him. Patrick Mahomes loves Eric Bieniemy. We know it. We have seen it. And again, having Patrick Mahomes sign off pretty much on it is where I'm going to come down to it, because he knows more about this offense. He knows more about what he wants, and he knows more about that Eric Bieniemy is going to get out of these players than I do. So while I might have my own reservations about Eric Bieniemy or going backwards, as it were, I'm okay with this.
I like where you're coming from. I'm surprised. What I heard coming out of my contacts, admittedly, knowing no one on the coaching staff when Eric Bieniemy left, my coaching contacts are out of the building at this point. But other contacts around the league was that there was some tension. There was they felt it had run its course. Not everybody was getting along as well as they used to and that kind of thing, and they needed a break. So that's what they did, and they let Eric leave, and he went on to several positions, including the Commanders, to UCLA, back to Chicago, where he's been successful. And I think that path smooths out some of the rough spots, right? Mm-hmm. Because you get on new staffs, you're working with new people, you're maybe not as scratchy as you might have been previously, right? I think the maturation process for a guy in Eric's position who is clearly taking OC jobs in order to get to a head coaching position, I think that smooths out some of that. And I think it also gives you a new perspective. So the fact that Andy will have him back says a lot to me. And I'm going to be okay with that. I do agree. If you want somebody to get in the players' rears and make sure that they are doing what they're supposed to do in Eric Bieniemy, there's nobody better. He will call you out. I don't care who you are. He will call you out, Patrick. I also think that pairing a running backs coach with him is a little bit delicate. You don't get to disagree with Eric Bieniemy when he's the offensive coordinator and you're a running backs coach. That's just the bottom damn line. So I think that may be something that we see somebody that has worked with Eric in the more recent past, like since his time from the Chiefs, come in. Very intrigued to see that because there has to be development there. I'm ecstatic about the O'Shea hire.
Absolutely. And I think love it.
Another veteran coach that can give feedback to Eric Bieniemy and can be a sounding board and can actually develop the wide receiver.
What's one thing that he did with New England? All of their wide receivers knew exactly where to be on the field. Every single damn one of them knew exactly where Tom Brady expected them to be, and they were there. That is what you're getting with O'Shea. I was very happy doing some research and finding out who he worked with and the systems he's worked with. Kevin Stefanski's offense, he's been the wide receiver coach there for a while. He knows a lot. Their wide receivers get better. I mean, they were getting a lot out of Isaiah Bond, who was not a very good player out of Texas, and with the quarterbacks that they've had. So I'm very excited about that. They framed it as a former Chiefs volunteer from 2003, right? Because he's been around the block, not really a true experienced anywhere else except for at wide receiver. So I'm okay with this. I'm very excited about it. We're going to see what happens with the running back room. But at the end of the day, this is something that I've seen thrown around too, Dave. I'm not picking on you, but hire the guy fired from 2 jobs before reverting to a running backs coach as an offensive coordinator. So he should not be at fault for getting fired from the Washington job because they hired him and Ron Rivera got fired and they cleaned house.
Right.
That's not his fault. He went and then worked at UCLA where nothing works. Their offense still blows. They can't get anything right. And they cleaned house right after he got there too. 2 stops that weren't his fault. And then he lands in Chicago, and that running back room has been fantastic. DeAndre Swift has been way better than he's ever been in his career as a pure runner. Kyle Monangai comes in and basically could have been an RB1 for that offense. And their run game over the last 7 or 8 weeks has fueled their getting to the divisional round of the postseason. So I understand where you're coming from, but I'm not going to buy that this is just him getting fired. He was with regimes and areas where everyone cleaned house. That's not his fault. So I'm not going to go along with that. But I understand that some people are going to be frustrated with this, and it's just going back to what has worked in the past. And I get it, especially if Andy Reid watches the film and says, look, if we hone this detail, if we get this right, if we can run the ball here better, if this running back takes this angle, we're talking about an offense that is back to being explosive. And I don't have an issue with going after that.
I agree. Stability and pushing the players to give more than they have, to get better than they have, I think is important. From O'Shea, especially, I do like the fact that worked with Edelman. They like to send Worthy on pivot routes. Like, nobody's better at a pivot route than Julian Edelman. I think he's better than Welker was at it, to tell you the truth. O'Shea was there to develop both of those guys. Yeah. I do think that I don't like using Xavier that way, but I do think it needs to be a part of the offense. So I do look for them to take a small, wiry, quick wide receiver soon as well.
I don't have a problem with them using him in that regard, but just not every third down. Please.
Gotcha.
Please, not every third down. Like because he has a couple where he actually breaks guys off and he gets open. But if it's expected, I mean, what are we doing?
I want to give a quick shout out to my friends up at Knotted. If I can get it to focus. Knotted Root.
There we go.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie, folks. This is their
Yes.
Yippee-Ki-Yay Christmas
I
ale.
need one of these.
So,
oh man, I
yeah.
need one.
This is a tasty brew, and I just wanted to throw it out there. So I wanted to make sure we got that in. Let's go through all the EB comments. I know you had them stacked up and see if there's anything that we missed in what we talked about already.
Whoops.
Now you
My
sound like
bad,
me.
guys. Yeah, I made some mistakes. Here we go. This one's from Kellen. Does the EB hire make you question Andy's process? I did address that pretty much. Not a single offensive coordinator interview before going back to EB. Doesn't seem like great process. Not a fan of it, personally.
1 second, though. We've confirmed he's interviewing. Everybody says it's leaning that way. Doesn't mean they're not going to talk to anyone else. That is not what we get here. Yes, you could hire Eric Bieniemy straight off if you wanted to. It's not like fulfilling the Rooney Rule with another OC is a requirement. But just because Diana Rossini says that she thinks it's imminent doesn't mean that it necessarily is.
I'm not like, it's not just her that I'm expecting. Like it's been in multiple different places, which again is
Okay.
it is my expectation. But you're right. Nothing has been official yet, and until that comes down, I mean, I guess we can hold it. But I'm expecting it to.
I am at this point too. It does make sense, especially if they revamp what's structurally incorrect about this last coaching staff, meaning inexperienced coaches coaching inexperienced players at the NFL level anyway.
Yeah.
That and for lack of a better word, retards development. Then you let EB kind of be the CEO type OC, because let's not get it twisted. Andy's not hiring EB to run this offense. Andy will call these plays. I personally feel like this does two things that I greatly am looking forward to, in that there will be more run call percentage, and I think the fullback comes back because EB's in the building.
No, I don't think so, but we'll see.
I got my fingers crossed, maybe my toes too.
So this is the other point. This is the other point here from Swag Boy about hopefully EB will bring in some creative run plays to Andy since he was with Ben Johnson. This is the biggest thing. You're getting essentially the best of both worlds. He worked directly with Ben Johnson on the staff. He was in not just the offensive coordinator room. Like he knows everything that Ben Johnson has run this past year with the Bears. And it is a direct outside thought process line. He worked with Washington. He worked with UCLA. I know that all these different things, right? Ron Rivera is from Andy Reid's tree in a sense, right? Like that was one of those things. Yeah. So it was an easy hire for him. But so there's different thought processes for this, and he's gained some more information. Working with Ben Johnson in that offense should give him some more creativity, but also it should help him understand how to take those ideas and bring them to Andy and say, this is how we can do this in your system.
Yeah. And that is exactly what I'm hopeful of. Something a little bit different than what we've seen. It looks like Indiana's moving the ball here, folks. I was a little bit behind on the kickoff of the game, but I think I'm mostly caught up here at this point. So,
yeah, so I was, they overcame a couple of penalties too. They had a holding call and then a false start, and looks like they're still able to get through both of those for first down. So after that first 3 and out, Indiana is now driving. That one right there, first down to Nowakowski. Told you guys, that's the H-back to look for.
Your next H-back / fullback in Kansas City, folks. There's a quick out to Surratt. I think he's a guy that's on my radar as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the foundational X receiver that can help in the run game. That's something that I think the Chiefs should be looking at.
Agreed. Why are the Rams underachieving? Thank you, Testicular. Do you have a theory? Because mine is a little bit tinfoil hat type.
I mean, I don't necessarily. I mean, they're in the NFC Championship game, right? Like they got there. I don't think Stafford has played the best. I'll say that. I mean, lately he hasn't been at his best. The offensive line has been up and down. I think they're not protecting Stafford as well. They haven't been able to run the ball as well. Their defense, if it's not getting pressure, you can get after that defense.
Mm-hmm.
The secondary, I don't fear anybody back there.
Okay, that works. I think Lake's an opportunistic player. I don't know that he's demands fear, so that's a good point. I just feel like generally they hit their stride and kind of got into coast mode. I feel like they're having a little bit of trouble firing back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that happens.
And I would say that could be on the staff as much as it is the players, to tell you the truth.
I mean, I don't disagree at all. I think that's a good point.
All right. Yeah. I'm glad we agree. That's freaking awesome. So, hey, next.
Sorry, doing multiple things at the same time here.
Yeah, right.
This is a little bit different than it has been for the playoff game streams where we're actually doing Q&A at the same time. Jonathan, you guys said there is no Will Anderson Jr. in this draft class. Why is it every time I watch David Bailey, I see Will Anderson?
Because you're watching Big 12 football, brother.
That is a very
That's
good
why.
point. Looks like Mendoza got hit pretty hard there, and he's bleeding from his mouth. But his lip looks like
blood. Anybody remember that one? If you remember that movie, you're a bleeder, and I like to see blood. If you remember that quote, hit me in the chat. There's only a couple of us. I'm old.
Jacoby Thomas, number 8 for the Hurricanes, came up and gave a big old hit to the chin right there of Mendoza, and that's what caused the blood. So, to your point, I think that makes a lot of sense for David Bailey. Also, I am doing a film review for David Bailey this week. I understand it's not a scheme fit, but I want to give everybody a good idea of the player. And we're not just doing this for you guys. It's for anybody that wants to see what these players are. So David Bailey is going to be an option in the top 10. And we're going to talk about him on Wednesday. But I will tell you, he's not even in the same stratosphere as Will Anderson in terms of run defense. Not even close. We are very, very different players. And Anderson, for everything he was coming out, he played a lot of 4-eye. That's like that inside shade on the tackle. So he's closer to inside, has to work around tackles for a pass rusher. You see David Bailey more as a 5 or a 7 tech, where he's rushing straight off the edge, and that speed is where he's winning. But he doesn't have the power to hold up as a 4-eye like Will Anderson had in the SEC. He dominated tackles in the SEC from a 4-eye position. So they're very different players and styles. And Will Anderson Jr.'s ability as a pass rusher was even coming out. It was more advanced from a rush plan perspective.
Yeah, everything's on the table for Will Anderson, whereas it is mostly a speed-oriented game for Dave Bailey. Like he can change it up. He does have some speed to power, but it's not dramatic. Literally, Will Anderson can go in and play D tackle for you if you have to have him, but he can do it all. And it's been, in fact, that's why he was his senior year almost a depressed draft stock, because they needed him inside more than they needed him outside. So that just goes to show you exactly what it was. But you're not wrong. Bailey is very good. He and Bain are very different players, but they're the best two in this draft class.
Yeah. Again, we're going to talk about him on Wednesday. And I started off with his game against Utah. I was like, they got some good tackles. Let's go watch that game. It was ugly. It was ugly. Yeah. He wasn't very good.
And by my count, he's got 2 pressures here tonight, early on in this game. So
Bailey's not in this game.
We're
talking about Bailey.
I was talking about Bain.
My bad. You gotcha. I understand. Never mind. Are you taking notes while we're doing this? Is that what you're doing?
I'm not taking notes. I'm not typing tonight.
This guy.
But I am paying attention.
All right.
Okay, where are we? I'm going to go clean that up in the chat, so you go ahead.
Yeah, I got you, Micah. Notre Dame running back Jadarian Price is my new favorite running back in this draft. He looks like Le'Veon Bell 2.0. Should Kansas City draft him in the second round, his stock is rising. I still think second is too high for a running back unless you have multiple second-round picks. Like I can't get there just yet. I don't think that the need is so great, or that the players are so great that you go that high with a running back, specifically for this class. That's my opinion.
I don't disagree. I like Price as well. Obviously, Love is going to get all of the limelight, but I do think he is worth drafting. Again, I agree with you. 80s and below, I don't think he cracks 80 for me in this class. And I wouldn't want to spend it if he did.
That's fair. it's always hard to see what you're going to get out of one of those RB2 guys, right? Who breaks out behind somebody. And I want to see a little bit more of Price before I would be drafting him that high. That's my own, again, that's me.
And let's be real, for the Chiefs' needs, they want a first and second down back. Rashard Smith can be your third down back. So you want somebody that can carry the rock as a primary and do that grinding. So I think that is something to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, I'm with you. Appreciate it, Micah. Brandon, nice to see you, man. Why haven't we gotten rid of Andy Heck? Oh, he's not going anywhere, apparently, guys. He'd already be gone.
He could be, and we don't know about it. I think retirement is more likely than a firing, but I was caught off guard when we found out that Todd Pixton was gone. So I don't know what the heck's going on in the room, and nobody else does.
Maybe they're going to have a conversation with EP when he gets in the building.
Maybe.
I don't know, Brandon.
He knows some dudes.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out. Again, and I will say this also. This is the most pivotal hire in Andy Reid's history as Chiefs head coach. It is. Eric Bieniemy will either make the next couple of years of this team, or I think end up breaking the trust between Andy Reid and the front office. I will say that right now, because he's gone back to the offense coordinators twice now. He's done it twice.
Mm-hmm. It's a pattern at this point. I want to jump to Zach just because he's been waiting 20 minutes and I'm already behind. If the Chiefs didn't need D-line and they could freely pick any position in the draft, who are you taking at number 9? Who's your favorites at this point, Danny?
Oh boy. If they didn't need any defensive line, I'm probably just going to take Caleb Downs. Like if they're set on defensive line, I'm taking Caleb Downs, and I'm going to run up to the board and just get my guy because he's the best player in the draft.
Yeah. Okay. I was leaning towards Reese for the same reasons. Like, I don't know exactly what I would do with him, but I know I can do something with him and he can make a difference on this defense. And I would definitely not pick an offensive player. That's all I can tell you.
Appreciate
some things never change, folks. Mike, a lot of plays under center by offenses this weekend. What's the advantage? If the Chiefs can't run the ball more, do teams respect them under center in terms of pass, run, and play action? Just being there does help, but what do you think in terms of like how efficient or how good do they have to be doing?
I mean, I don't necessarily think they have to even do it a whole lot. They just got to do it more than they have been, and they have to generate explosives out of it. Realistically, if you're going to run under center, you have to at least show a defense that you can get an explosive run, because if not, why do they care? Why do they care? They're just going to keep doing. They're going to bring out nickel. They're going to just get you for 5 yards, and they're going to stay in their defense. They're not going to care so much. They're going to be back off, and they're going to wait. Unless you can generate explosives, which again comes down to timing and proper coached running back angles along with the blocking scheme, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't. So if they can't run the ball more, teams, even if they come out under center, much like they have this past year, when they come out with 13 personnel under center, they didn't care. Teams don't care. They responded with nickel and said, you're going to throw it. We don't care.
We know what you're thinking. It's that straightforward. It's tough. With Bieniemy back, I think Andy sees the offense not as bad call plays, but bad execution. How much better would this season have been if the players executed their jobs better? Well, it depends on the degree there, MK, but quite frankly, I think you get better execution from Bieniemy if they're there. But I don't know that it changes Andy Reid's perception, to tell you the truth. I think Andy Reid understands what he sees on film when guys aren't making the right block or aren't getting to the right position on the field. I think he takes it on himself to, I got to tweak this play design rather than I have to make these guys perform better.
And that's the thing, is that we're going to get a little bit of injection of both. I think with Bieniemy back, he's going to bring some tweaks here, but I think he's going to demand better of these players. And as much as I respect Matt Nagy as a person, he's not the guy that is going to help nail those details down. And he just never has been that guy. It's not something, and it's not so much about penalties either, because I know that Eric Bieniemy he wasn't like a fix-all problem for penalties. They got no problem. But I just think that at this stage, Bieniemy, especially after his couple of stops, will be better equipped to handle the responsibilities of what he's going to be asked to do, much like he did before with some tweaks to the scheme. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But thanks for the question there, MK.
I needed a prop
Trace,
for this next question.
This one? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I will let you handle it then.
This isn't the best box to demonstrate this, Tracy, but I'm going to try. So if you guys have not been to training camp when Eric Bieniemy is coaching the running backs, you get to see this. I think Jamal Charles is the one who really illustrated this. Imagine this little box from my new Ubiquity router is actually a porta potty. I can't get the camera to focus on it right now, so hold on a second.
There we go.
Okay, porta potty. Imagine. Okay, I know it takes a little bit. You open it up. You put a running back inside, right? You close the door again. You line up your quarterback 15 yards back, and you tell him, as soon as I open this door, nail that running back with a pass. He has to catch it while he's sitting on the throne inside the porta potty. The enemy would stand there and do this. Boom. Boom. So the running backs got used to those bullet passes right at them as soon as they got their heads around. I think it's a really, really interesting way to do that drill. There's 1,000 variations of it. But Bieniemy chose to use the porta potties up at camp, and I thought it was hilarious and ingenious at the same time.
That's fantastic. We just saw back-to-back pass breakups from Indiana's defense. D'Angelo Pons on CJ Daniels, locks him down on the outside, and then they take a sack on third down. So they'll be punting the ball away back to Indiana. But thank you for that demonstration of the porta potty drill. That's awesome. And I'm glad you had that because I think that a lot of people appreciate that. We've also got some great news, you guys. 5 of you have received a membership courtesy of SSG Minotaur. Thank you very much, my friend, for being here and spreading the support and the love of RGR football. You've always got a question, so make sure you put it in there so we don't forget to get you an answer, my friend. Thank you so much. Another one here from Night Hunter, member from 54 months. Now, with the new kind of offensive coordinator, do we need to draft a running back or go free agent, Ryan?
Free agent, and either a 7th or a UDFA. I like the kid from Oregon. I'm just saying.
I know. He's a big fan of Noah Whittington, and at the end of the day, you have to bring multiple running backs in, whether that's through the draft, whether it's through free agency. That has to happen. So I'm with you in some way, shape, or form. Got to bring in at least one in free agency. You have to.
Yeah, as many. It's a numbers thing, and like I talked about in my mock draft. If you guys missed it last Friday, or Thursday, whichever it was, multiple bites at the apple till you get somebody that just is that dude. I think they have to have that at running back as well. Now here comes Bain and shows.
I was about to say, I hope you guys are watching some of this game because Ruben Bain is, he's everywhere.
And it's not just the acceleration. It's not, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. I know it's on Nowakowski. He's smaller than Bain, but he's playing with a different fire tonight, man.
And it's that club action. Nearly took his head off. There's Messidor just jacking the right tackle back into him. Like there's these guys, and this is what they do. For those of you that want to know, hey, what's his hand technique? Like how many inside spin moves or counters does he have? Neither of them have a ton of them. These are power-based, beat the hell out of you pass rushers. They're Steve Spagnuolo type guys. And if you can't spend 9 on Bain, I'm going to tell you, they're going to come back at 40 and look at Messidor.
Yeah, I would just be hesitant to spend a second-round pick on a 25-year-old player. It would.
I hear you.
It might hurt me a little bit, but if you guys are interested, the Ruben Bain breakdown is up on RGR Football. You can go watch it right after this and then see what he brings to the table and why he is a Spags guy, because he absolutely is. Micah, Ryan, I watched the Locked On Chiefs episode last week with Chris, and you guys debated about who comes back or gets traded in the secondary, who returns, Watson, McDuffie, or Cook.
I think 2 of the 3. Right now, I am leaning towards, from what I'm hearing, Cook and McDuffie being on this roster this year. I think it's a possibility. If you got an offer you couldn't refuse for Trent McDuffie, especially from somebody like Mike Borgonzi who knows him well, who might actually offer enough value, then you could consider it. But right now, it feels to me like McDuffie returns. They work out a long-term contract. Quite frankly, after last season, his value is a little bit diminished. You might be able to get what you think is a deal. And I do think that they like Cook more than the fan base likes Cook. You guys know I've always been a Cook guy, and I do admit he does have some issues at times. He will miss a tackle every now and then. He is late coming out of that single high. But in terms of how the league looks at Brian Cook across the other safeties in this league, a lot of them see him, as PFF does, as a top 10 safety. And so I do think the Chiefs are going to try to bring him back. Excuse me. Got a little hiccup going. And I do think that he is not going to be a break the bank guy. So I think that this is the way that I'm leaning right now, Micah. Now, that's just based on what little information I have from a couple of sources that are not, that don't represent him or don't represent anybody in this negotiation. So that is purely hearsay. But I tell you what I know when it's from somebody I trust. So that's where we can go to. Steve, nice to see you. Thank you. And thanks for being a member. What would the free agent market for defensive end Owe from the Chargers look like? I do think that the fresh air of Los Angeles, it's very, very rare that anyone says that out loud. I think it did give him a bit of a lift. And I do think that he has more to offer than we've seen to this point. I'm just not sure what teams are willing to spend on, given it was such a short look. So I think he definitely has a market. Does he get to a $20 million a year plateau? I'm not sure. If you could get him at 18, I think a lot of teams might want to pull that trigger. I don't know that the Chiefs are one of them.
Who at 18?
Owe. Who ended up
18 million. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thought you meant okay.
Yeah, sorry, not talking draft picks. My fault.
No, it's tough with a flash like that, right? He clearly didn't develop with Baltimore, but he showed more in Los Angeles than he showed at all in Baltimore. So it's tough, and especially because, do you trust Jesse Minter to be the guy that's developing these guys and knows how to use them, or do you trust Steve Spagnuolo and Joe Cullen? Because I'll tell you right now, I'm not sure that I trust them to do it.
I'm really interested. I know Joe Cullen took at least one interview. I'm interested to see what happens. I'm not sure where that's going. Were you guys surprised that Sean McDermott got fired by the Bills? And for us outside looking in as Chiefs fans, and I think it was a bad move as part of their time was strange to me. Your thoughts? I'm not terribly surprised. For a lot of things that we talk about with Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen's only getting older. So if you're going to continue to hit the playoffs and lose in what is, quite honestly, a subpar performance by Josh himself, I can understand why ownership is like, man, we got to get something changed to get this before Josh's career is over.
The biggest thing I was surprised about is that Brandon Beane not only did not get fired, he got a promotion. Yes. Because Brandon Beane is the reason that roster sucks. Again, I told you last night, I expected Sean McDermott to get fired. That was not a shock to me at all, because at the end of the day, you have to get more out of your defense in the postseason. When you lose, averaging nearly 30 points a game in your losses in the postseason, you have to get more out of them than that. But at the end of the day, Brandon Beane needed to be gone too. And the fact that he is still there, that's a shock.
Yeah, that is surprising. And as you said, more powerful at this point. Black and gold, thank you. Realistic 2026 QB options until Mahomes is back. I mean, Andy wants a vet, right? So they're not going to go draft pick as much as IT's like, hey, maybe they should look at this. Give the guy a few starts and then try to trade him off. I don't know.
I think the realistic one is someone like Jacoby Brissett. They're probably going to look at Jameis Winston. Marcus Mariota is also an option. These are journeyman backup quarterbacks. I think I'd probably be happy with Brissett personally.
Yeah, I think I would lean that way too. Again, as I think we discussed yesterday, in a small window, not like a full season starter. I think I'd like that as well. Anthony, odds Mahomes pulls for Kingsbury to be the OC. Could he be the Reed successor? No, it looks like it's going to be EB. I don't think Kingsbury's pro system meshes with Andy, and I'm not sure his pro system is actually viable at this point. I think Jaden Daniels made up for a lot in that system 1 year, and you saw what happened the next.
Yup. And guys, Kingsbury is he's just not, I just don't think he's cut out for the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, I think his offense can work every now and then, but it needs the right system. It needs the right time. It works for a year, maybe two, and then it kind of goes kaput. I think he's got to go back to college.
I think he would be good going back to college, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I think he's going to try to stick it out because I think that's what he's wanted. I remember some of those times, especially on Hard Knocks, like you could tell that what he had given up to be there, but we'll see. After 2 head coach hires, there are still 9 head coach openings. List your top 9 head coach candidates. And again, this goes back to Stefanski getting the Atlanta job, which you guys heard me talk about wanting Stefanski to marry some of those principles. I just want to say again, Chad O'Shea, some of those principles come from Stefanski, including emphasizing the tight end, developing undersized wide receivers. I think these are all things that go in there. But if you had candidates, who's your tops with Harbaugh and Stefanski out?
I don't even have a list in front of me, guys.
Brian Flores, number 1 for me.
Really? Why is that?
Yeah, because I think younger defensive guys, I think the trend right now is defensive coaches are older. And I think you want to see innovation. I think it's time that Brian Flores got a shot. I know he's had a very long road to this point, but I like him as a head coach. I think he can lead men. And I think that's something that, in particular, in a couple of places, is very, very much needed right now. I don't think that it's Buffalo, just for the record, everybody. I don't think that would be a fit.
All right. I know it's hard to think about young guys, specifically as young as Grant Udinsky is from the Jaguars, but I would probably hire him as my head coach. I know it's tough.
I'm just saying.
I don't know, but you don't know that, right? You don't know he's not.
But I do.
I'd probably
it's one
also
season.
I don't know. I'd also look at Clint Kubiak. I'd also be giving Vance Joseph another run because I think what he's done with Denver is an absolutely not just a great job, but he's developed those players. Maybe I just am always looking for that next young offensive-minded guy to become the Sean McVay or the Kyle Shanahan. Maybe that's my own bias in that, but it's a younger man's game right now. It very much is for specifically, I think, for the offense, not so much for the defense, but for the young guys. They are having more success more often, and not all of them will be good head coaches. That's obvious because you don't know how to handle everything that a head coach needs to be able to handle. Matt Nagy talked about that in his first go around. He tried to do too much himself. Like he tried to do everything himself. You got to delegate. You got to learn to delegate. So I think some of these guys are going to get hired. They're going to learn that the hard way. They're going to go back to being offensive coordinator. Maybe next time around they will be.
Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. Sorry, Info, I don't have a list of 9 at this point. Stefanski was my number 1. Harbaugh was my number 2. So that tells you where we're at. If you assumed Cooks is gone next year, I assume he means Brian. Would you rather have Caleb Downs or Love in the first if the top DEs are gone? I mean, Downs fills a bigger role. Safety is marginally, it is not what it used to be. It is marginally a more valuable piece, particularly in Steve Spagnuolo's system. So easily Caleb Downs.
Easily. Not a question for me at all.
And I don't even have him the top guy in the draft either, like Dan does. And so Dan would easily run to the podium like that.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Who you got tonight other than Ruben Bain? Who are you looking at?
Oh, yeah,
we
did
ran
this
down. Yep, we got that right off the top, right? Okay. So in the draft, seeing the Cowboys have 12 and 20, I'd be so happy if each could move back and acquire both those picks rather than stick and pick at 9. I like where you're coming from, Patrick. I don't think you're going to get 2 for 1 when you're talking about moving up 3 spots. Look at it from the Cowboys' point of view. You're not going to go up from 12 to 9 and give them 20. But you know what I would be doing if I were Beach? I'd be like, hey, I got 9 and 40. Let's split the difference. I'll give you 2 for 2. That's what I'd be doing.
Absolutely. You should be looking at trying to get up from 1 to the other, right? Maybe trade back a little bit, go up in one round, maybe pick up another one. Like that's what you're probably trying to do, is play the board a little bit to get into your sweet spot while also improving your options in terms of top 40 picks or maybe top 50.
Yeah, I completely agree. And if something goes wrong and somebody gets picked out from under you, trade back down.
If you can,
Trade
absolutely.
back down. I don't know, Dan. Do you feel? I feel like in this class, the trade downs are going to be pretty high, because I think there are pockets of good players, and I think there are very, very specific system players for a lot that could produce some trade ups to get somebody out of a lot of picks they're not looking to make.
I just don't see the trade ups happening very much. There's no quarterbacks at the top. There's no tackles really, in terms of the top end talent. Those are the guys you typically, or in the defensive ends, are going to go quick. I don't see a ton of trade up viability until around maybe 20.
Okay.
In that area, you might start seeing teams then try to come up to get another wide receiver or one of the tackles that you want that 50-year option on, or a defensive end or something like that, or maybe a Ty Simpson. That's what I see.
Was that the H back again?
That was the age back again.
Okay, well, you're going to have to fix me on
Riley Nowakowski.
Dude, he sounds like a fullback. It's perfect. Angler, with EB, Jalen Moore stays at left tackle or we draft? I want to make this is not about you, Angler. I want to make this as clear for everybody involved as possible. The hiring of EB makes absolutely no difference on any draft plan whatsoever. That is between Brett Veach and his staff and Andy frickin' Reid. The offensive coordinator does not get to make demands. He gets to ask, please and thank you. I think the plan will be tackle is an option if those pass rushers are gone. Again, because Moore, I think they have a plan for him to play. He will not be at left tackle. He will definitely be at right tackle. And if he does, I don't know that they're comfortable. Are you comfortable, Dan, that he can survive a season at this point, given how little he was asked to do and he wasn't very healthy when he did it?
No, I'm not. Jalen Moore is, again, you were trying to see what you had. That's all you were trying to do. You were trying to see if he could live up to maybe what the 5-game expectation of him was. And if you guys watched the film room, I wasn't sure about his viability as a starter from when I did the film room last year and then in the free agency. I thought maybe he could be a better right tackle than left tackle. I think that's still on the table, but I don't know what he's going to be. He hasn't played a full season. Not once. You've never gotten that out of him. So you definitely can't just assume that he's going to be the guy.
Yeah, that's how I feel. And I think he can grow into a starting right tackle and be successful. I'm just not sure if he can give you full seasons. That's what I'm concerned about. And Angler, thank you. You didn't have to contribute more just to correct that. So cheers. But yeah, absolutely. Like, I think EB wants to be able to run. I don't think there's I think there's anybody. What's the best way to put this? I think from EB's perspective, anybody's an upgrade from Juwan Taylor in the run game.
Probably.
So whether it's Essa, whether it's Jalen, whether it's a draft pick. Draft pick, you get a little bit more concerned only because the run game isn't what it is in college that it is in the NFL. But I don't think EB has a huge outcome on that at all.
I'm with you.
Okay. What kind of running back coach would you like to pair with EB and O'Shea? Or do you think EB will do both duties? Dr. Ozzie, thanks for the question. I don't think he will do both duties. I think EB might bring in his own running backs coach, to be quite honest. Because here's the hard part with his attitude and who he is in coaching running backs. And quite frankly, the success that he's just had this season. You don't get to come in as a running back and disagree with Eric Bieniemy. Or a running back coach. So they might even bring somebody in that he's worked with before, is my guess.
I think you're right about that. They want that to have that chemistry to be there, because they're going to want Eric Bieniemy to be able to trust the person to develop those running backs. Right? You still want Bieniemy to be having his hands in wide receivers and running backs and tight ends and the offensive line, the scheme. You want him to do all those things, but you also want him to be able to delegate and trust the delegation of those coaches as well. So I'm with you.
Yeah. Okay. What's next? I'm sorry, Dan. I was just taking over reading, so you don't have to think so much. Let's go to this one.
We're doing
That
both.
Jack. How about tight end Eli Reardon from North Dakota? I assume it's NDSU on day 3. No?
So this is Eli Reardon out of Notre Dame. 1 second, guys. I'm going to pull up my report on him because that is something that you can do right now. I have
on Bleacher Report.
Go away. Sorry. I'm trying to get the report up, but it's not like functioning properly.
Is this external publicly available?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It was just trying to pull up my ability to edit scouting reports instead of just pulling up the report itself. So we gotta make sure we're not doing that.
To you yet?
Oh yeah, we're fine. He didn't even know it happened. It was no big deal.
Okay.
So this is a guy that I have my eyes on as well because he used to be the blocking tight end specifically for Notre Dame. He's listed at 6'7", 252, so he's probably closer to 6'6", around 250 pounds. He's a great seam threat. He's got very good ball skills. He's got really good speed too. Like he can get up to speed pretty quickly. Day 3, he's like my tight end 5 in this class, I think. So I think early on day 3 is probably where you're looking for him. But at the end of the day, tight ends are still going to go in that day 2, that 3rd and 2nd round area. So I think he's probably going to end up in the 3rd round myself. I like him quite a bit. He still has some trouble with the natural leverage of being as tall as he is and blocking, and that's going to be difficult. But at the end of the day, I think he has the tools to develop into a better Noah Gray type player who can block better and be a better receiver.
I like it. Dan, is the big board the best way on Bleacher Report for everybody to see your rankings?
Actually, no, they're not. We have individual rankings now. We have individual pages. So let me see really quickly how to Google this.
Okay. Well, I just thought we'd post that as well, but
yeah, no, it's all good.
Cole, thanks for this question. Sorry if you covered this, but is Dable and Kafka now destined for Buffalo? I don't think they're destined, but I think it's in Buffalo's interest to do it. Dable basically fixed Joshua coming out of college. Like, I would not see any reason why you wouldn't do that. Now, I don't know that Dable and Kafka still want to work together or not. That would be probably a more complex question. But if I know Dable, he's raring to get back in it. And from the last time that I talked to Coach Dable, I know that he wants a back like Cook. So I like the pairing there. It's obviously a historic connection as well. Like, you know each other. So I could see it very well. Good call there, Cole. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I absolutely think Dayball is going to be back. I think that's the natural order of how things operate. I think you're probably going to get Josh Allen coming out with support of that as well. So that's definitely where I fall. And this is for all of you guys, if you are interested in seeing rankings. Oh, really? Oh, that's what you're doing. Okay, my bad. All right, we're good. So if you guys just Google like Bleacher Report cornerback rankings, you will find this will be the top thing that pops up. You can go and you can see how every single position or player that I have, where they currently are in my rankings. Okay. This is a living, breathing document. Okay. So when I change grades, when I change position or players' numbers on here, this will also reflect that. We have each one of these that are highlighted with the purple will link directly to the scouting report. So if you're looking for scouting reports on players, and I don't have them in here yet, this will be updated this week. I will have added Traden Stukes as well as Julian Neal and Keontae Scott. The only one I will not have reports on is Jermon McCoy, because for obvious reasons, he's not football this year. So, but yeah, this will all be updated soon. So this is what you guys can do in that regard as well.
Rock on. I like it. So does that mean you haven't completed Scott yet? Or no, this isn't posted?
His will be up as well. I just put those 3 in this week.
Gotcha.
Or the last week.
Okay. I know, folks, we're rambling on here as this game is going on. Still 3-0 in the second. I think that's pretty surprising, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, me too.
Carson, is Messidor a scheme for the Chiefs and maybe a second-round pick? PFF has elevated him to a second round pick. I'm not sure that he gets all the way there. I still have him probably in the 60s. That could go either way at that point. But yes, I feel that he is honestly the only thing that you worry about Bain is the length, because Steve Spagnuolo does like long edges. Messidor, it looks to me like he is going to be within Spag's parameters, so I would think he is a scheme fit. Do you disagree?
No, I'm with you there. I think he's got the length, the size, the power. Again, it's just the age for me. It's tough.
Yeah, I am less concerned about that. Super seniors, it's just a tough road, and I'm trying to take that out of my evaluations because
Charlie Becker just gets in the end zone. That is how you get it done, man. That is just effort, fight, determination. Charlie Becker is going to be a first-round pick next year, guys. He is that dude for Indiana.
Yeah, he's not eligible right now.
No, he's a sophomore.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Oh, he stepped out.
3 guys.
Damn it.
Doesn't matter. 3 dudes. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't either. Like, it's still a hell of a play.
That is absolutely crazy. Sorry, 4 when you actually tally it. That's nuts. Keep an eye on him, folks. Unrealistic situation, Minotaur said. And Minotaur, thank you again for the memberships and everything else that you do around here. Appreciate you, buddy. What would you look for in a package to trade McDuffie and Chris Jones, or perhaps the Titans for something? I mean, there's not enough first-round picks in the world for me to trade both of them. I mean, really there is, but I mean, like, I need a dick deal to do that. I wouldn't trade both of them. I do think the Titans would be interested in both, and I do think if you want to get kind of a big deal done, that is the place to go. They have a ton of cap space. They have Mike Borgonzi. They need to make an impact. Ownership might be a little gun shy after L'Jarius Sneed. So yeah. I would say if you're trying to trade both of them, I need a minimum, and I mean a minimum of your next 3 years of first round picks, plus a couple of either seconds or thirds or some mixture there.
Yeah, I'm with you too. You got to be able to get 3 at least first round picks and something with that. Like there's just, we're talking multiple all pros from these guys. Like it just doesn't. You can't give those away. I'm
talking draft day, Sonny, whatever his name was. I want all my picks back. You pancake eating. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I like the quotes. Angler, help me understand. Why not draft offense if no Baines or Downs? Sometimes you have to take a swing. You have to take a swing, right? Wide receiver at least, Tyson or Lemon. I haven't watched either of them. Dan will have to tell you about that. I would say if there's anything that you're going to take on the offensive side, if the pass rushers aren't there, it's offensive tackle. I think Fano's viable. I think even Mano could be. It's not my style, but that's okay. I think there are options there. And I don't see anyone projecting Fano into the top 10. Have you, Dan?
No, but again, tackle tax. He might be the best tackle in the class, and that's where you end up in some of these places. So you also got to trust your scouts, and you have to be able to, if you're going to pick someone in the top 10, just have conviction. I don't necessarily care who it is. Do it with conviction. Make a point, make a statement. I just don't want to see a running back. And if it ends up being a wide receiver, so be it. I just personally, I don't think Lemon is worthy of that pick. I just don't. I like Lemon a lot. Again, that's not that I don't like Lemon, but I don't believe that he is a player who can win successfully at all 3 levels at the next level and on the outside. I think he struggles against pure physical man coverage, and he doesn't have the speed to win downfield to the next level. He's got really good ball skills. Really good. I just struggle with it. We'll do a film review. I'm going to do a film review on Malachi Lemon as well, because that way it gives me a better opportunity to scout him properly, right? I'm just going based on what I've seen and just the snippets there that I have right now. But Tyson's the best receiver in this draft, in my opinion, so I wouldn't be super mad about that.
And again, you're not worried about the competition he played. Big 12-ish?
Not really. It just doesn't bother me in terms of competition for wide receivers, because watch the player and see what they have. Like I just that just doesn't bother me.
Okay. Hey, if you're comfortable with it, I can get down with it. Teddy, thank you, sir. Am I the only one that doesn't like our new wide receiver coach only having one development story under his 15-year history? Edelman. That's not his only story. He had Welker before that. He worked with Randy Moss. He got Amari Cooper back on track in Cleveland. He worked with David Njoku instead of just being a big body athlete, turning into an actual receiving tight end. I think he's got a lot more stories than that, Teddy.
Yeah, and we're not talking about guys that are you're trying to turn these guys into pure number one receivers in the NFL. He has never worked with that type of talent. Like he just hasn't worked with that for the most part. I think Jerry Jeudy has been better in Cleveland than he was in Denver by a pretty good margin. I think every receiver has been better that he's worked with, and he's worked on timing and understanding where you're supposed to be on the field. I think that's a huge part of what the Chiefs need because that's what Andy Reid wants.
Yeah, I agree with you. Thank you, Teddy. Hey, Julian, welcome back.
What's up, man?
It's been a while. Glad you're listening, though, buddy. How long ago did you make that comment? It's about 20 minutes.
He's got a question in here too. Don't
Hope
worry.
you're still here. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Hire Jason Taylor away from Miami as a D-line coach. Is that what he's saying?
I don't know, but I'm not sure you're getting him away from his love of Miami. Like, I don't think that's happening.
That sounds difficult. I could be wrong, but yeah. I'll think about it, Angler. But yeah, I mean, the man knows what he's doing. He does have Spags body types in terms of how he moves and how he could express how to move to other players. I do like that combo. Big Pat, thank you. Who gets the Bills and the Raiders jobs? Like just gut instinct here. What do you think?
I do think Daboll is going to be for the Bills. I have no lean with the Raiders. I have none.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know who Tom Brady wants because I know Tom Brady's going to make that hire. So
yeah, I agree completely. It makes me wonder if the Pats weren't already out of it, would we already be talking about Josh McDaniels getting another go? Tom loved him some Josh McDaniels.
Oh man, that is ugly. But he was the Raiders coach, wasn't he?
Oh, I know it. I don't think Tom gives two shits.
That's not happening. No. That city would lose their minds. They'd lose their minds.
I agree. I'm just saying, like, I could see Tom Brady being like, F it, I said he can.
Nope.
Tom does not lack in confidence. That's all I can say.
No, you're right. Not wrong about that.
All right. Indiana looking to go in here, folks. Looks like it is on the 1, 3rd and goal. Speaking of mock draft video, when will you guys be doing your next mock draft? I've been doing every week so far, mostly on Thursdays. And they are in. And guess what? It's an H-back/fullback. Just say it.
It's Nowakowski.
Nowakowski. Good. Riley is his first name?
Riley Nowakowski.
He is now Riley 37. Okay. I got Riley. Mark, thank you. And thanks for over 4 years in the memberships. Very much appreciative of you. A lot of folks have been asking for live mock drafts. I'm having trouble working it out with my kids' sports schedule right now. So I've been pre-recording them, and I will continue to do that. You'll have them on Thursdays. And I'm trying to run through like a myriad of things that I see as boards move around, et cetera, et cetera. I'm still working on D-line. I have not moved on to the offensive tackles yet. That will be my purview. Dan's doing some D-line work as well. He's got all of the DBs covered, right, as well as the tight ends. And Damian had running backs, right?
For Bleacher Report, yeah.
Yeah. So, folks, like Dan's drawing on his experiences, already watched, and our friend Damon Parsons has stuff up there too. So maybe we'll get him on and pick his brain a little bit. Damian took over for me on Locked On NFL Draft, so go check out that as well. Can always get a plug in for something around here, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
Mark, thank you. I appreciate you, and you'll see me Thursday. Perry, I don't get the RB at 9. If Vegas had flipped their picks last year, they would have had Tet or RG Harvey instead of Beck and Genty. Do you like Lemon from SC? You said that you do like him, but not as a top 10 pick, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And I I got to say, I thought Harvey was one of the value picks here. I really liked him. I was pretty alone on that island. Like, I still think I had him in the top 100 when it all came down. But
There's a lot of fans out there for him in the top 100. I think I had him in the 4th round
yep.
myself, but I liked what he offered. I think he is what he is, and I also think that he was better than he'll probably be next year.
You think so? Okay.
I think so.
I'm hoping there's more there as he continues to develop. That's crossing my fingers a little bit, but it is what it is. Okay, I know we're over an hour here, folks, and we're approaching halftime, so we're going to speed this up and try to knock it out for you because I got dinner to eat. Thank you, Perry. Appreciate you. Got Pats. Thank you, buddy. Tommy, if we don't re-sign Brian Cook, do you think that CJ Gardner-Johnson can fill that role? He gives me a Frank Clark attitude, the kinds of vibes on defense. What do you see?
No, I don't want CJ Gardner-Johnson anywhere near this football team. I don't like him as a person. I don't think he's a very good football player, and I just don't want that.
CJ is a me first kind of player. And I don't think he can truly take, if you're going to move on from Brian Cooks, it's got to be somebody that can play center field and play single high all the time so you can man up. And I don't see Gardner Johnson doing that. I'm with you. His wheelhouse. What we got? Downs and Woods. Yeah, that's fair. How much are those two improving the defense?
I think Downs improves your defense more than Woods does, like immediately. Downs is a top-down player, and he's a communicator. He's an excellent communicator. He's worked in an NFL-style offense at Ohio State with Matt Patricia, and I think he can be essentially the Eric Berry or the Tyrann Mathieu of the defense, the communicator, the juice man. I think he can bring all of that, and that's something, the Justin Reed of it. Like, I think he's that presence. But I think he's closer to Eric Berry than he is to Justin Reed in terms of what he can do.
Okay. It also means that you're in one of two positions. Either you've brought back Brian Cook before then, which means you've given up on Jaden Hicks, or you think Hicks can be that box and let Caleb play higher. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's the best way to deploy Caleb.
I don't know if it is, but I think he can do it. Again, he's a whole player. I mean, his best skill set is whole player. Like, he can read a defense and do everything you want him to from that spot. He can cover tight ends, man-to-man coverage. He reads plays well. He's going to come downhill and lay a hit. But like you said, if that's what you're doing, then they have given up on Jaden Hicks. They just have.
Yeah, that sucks. Julian, I miss you, dude. I hope you're doing well. Dan, you know this better than I do. I'm just living vicariously through Riley 3-7 here. Do you think either the Iowa back or Indiana backs would fit us?
I think I mean, both of them are rather one cutty type players. If you guys understand my meaning with that, meaning one cut and go. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Caitlin Black is 5'10", 200 pounds. At least that's what he's listed at. Roman Hemby is a bit better. I think he is a redshirt senior, 6 foot, 210 pounds. So I think Hemby is a bit bigger and probably a better fit than Black is, but they're not your vision-based backs from what I've seen. Again, I don't have full scouting reports on them up, but I do imagine my guy Damien will be working on those as well. He's got grades for both of those guys in, so that's just something to think about. But I think Hemby is a better fit than Black is, just based on the small that I've watched of them.
Daniel's making an impact here on the field with a nice downfield release. I thought he got pretty cleanly through the linebacker level. Yep, it didn't look like they got a hand on him, so that's a nice route. Thank you, Perry. Appreciate you. I'm going to jump back here, and I know I'm just drawing everyone out. I'm sorry, guys. This is just dragging on. Do you think that JC would have any interest in being a running backs coach? Jamal Charles, I would love to see him do it. I know, in fact, I may talk to him here pretty soon because he's doing an ambassador thing for the Chiefs that is possible to get a chance with him. And hey, I'll ask him what the hell. But I don't read him as a guy I think he's enjoying living in Texas is what I'm saying.
I don't know if he wants to be a coach.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't know if he wants to be a coach in the NFL, and then that's okay. It's okay to let them live their lives. He's doing great work. Like, I'm sure he loves his life, and that's okay. I love Jamal. If he chooses to come and coach, that'd be great. But I think he's just happy doing what he's doing.
I think EB would welcome him. I would tell you that.
Oh, absolutely.
He's just a player that is so physically based. Like, I don't know how he can't really impart much. If you can't run track like him, and I met Jamal Charles when he was a junior in college at the Kansas Relays, the fastest dude I have ever seen live, because I haven't seen Xavier Worthy. But like, that's hard to translate, folks. I'm just saying. What running back would you guys like to see the Chiefs go after in free agency? I don't have that readily available, but I'm going to pull it up right now.
I do have it readily available. I saw the question, guys, and we're going to go ahead and try to pull this up here. So, booyah, we got it.
Uh-huh.
All right, so this is your list of free agent running backs. You got Najee Harris, Austin Eckler, Travis Etienne, maybe 26, give me 27 years old. Javonte Williams, Rico Dowdle, Nick Chubb, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker. The list goes on. That's
wrong. Kenneth Walker's value is more now.
It is more now. It absolutely is more now, because you guys didn't see Zach Charbonnet tore his ACL last night or in the game that they played. So that's going to make him probably be franchise tagged or get a big contract. This is where I think I am starting to lean. Kenneth Gainwell.
Really? Okay.
At least as the Jerick McKinnon part of this offense. I think he fits that role to a T. And
he's that lightning.
He's faster than McKinnon was in his days in Kansas City. Like,
really?
Okay. At least I think he's comparable, because McKinnon lost juice with the injuries, like he just did. So I think that Kenneth Gainwell, specifically going back and watching him from Pittsburgh this past year, he did a lot of really good things, and he can catch the football. He did really well in pass protection. So he's someone that I'm coming around to, especially if they go from more of a manageable situation. They're not trying to get a Breece Hall or a Kenneth Walker if he does end up hitting, but I think that's good there. And yes, I understand Rashard Smith. Rashard Smith can't pass protect, guys. Like that, he can't do that yet. Maybe Eric Bieniemy can change that. I don't know. But if they're going to build a room out, Kenneth Gainwell can help him develop at worst.
I think like 6.5 is about my cap for an APY on a running back. So I don't mind ATN so much. I know he's a little bit older. I like Rachaad White more than you do. But I think I would need to be under that 6.5 number for both of them, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
People are high on Algier. I don't see it being enough different from Pacheco than what we've seen in this offense. I'm here for all the lightning. I'm not here for the thunder. If I need thunder, I'll go get a damn fullback.
I'm with you.
And I say, damn, with all the love there, fullbacks. For you high schoolers that are out there, fullback is not a dying art. You can still do it. You just have to play linebacker too.
I was about to say, you got to do that. You got to play special teams. You got to play a little bit of tight end. You got to just do it all.
Right. Yeah. Catch the damn ball. That is for sure. Will there be a film on Surratt, Mr. Daniel?
Yeah, we're going to do not just first round picks, guys. We're going to do second round, third round options as well. We have a lot more time this year than we've had in the past to do those. So we're going to get there. I think as a second round option.
Another play.
Of course he did, because he's incredible. One thing I'm going to have to do is, after Avion Terrell as my CB3, there's Malik Muhammad, Chandler Rivers, and D'Angelo Pons very, very close together. I have to go back and watch those three guys and see if I have to shuffle them around, because Pons has been just lighting it up, and I'm very, very excited about him.
Yeah, I agree. And this is what playing in the postseason does. It gives you a lift, because you know that what you produce against playoff teams is better than what anybody did in just the regular season, unless you're playing the same teams literally. So it does give you an advantage, I feel. And you see what I mean about Thanos? I mean, you can see it, right?
Yeah, I can see it. He definitely has the look.
Thoughts on Styles taking over for Drew? Or are we just rolling out Boss? I love the channel. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
I don't know. From the indications that the Chiefs staff has given us, I don't think Boss is in their plans. I think he's the next Jack Cochran at this point. I am disappointed.
Yeah, I'm very upset about it. We'll find out. Obviously, it's 1 year. We'll see what happens this next year. Maybe Bieniemy can push Steve Spagnuolo to make some changes too, because he's not just going to come around and only focus on offense. He's going to look at all the players, and because this is, I made the joke on Twitter earlier today, that he's like the assistant to the offensive coordinator, which is Andy Reid. You know, like the assistant to the Dwight Schrute of it all. But for him, he's going to have his hands in everything. I think he's going to want to be more of a player personnel kind of person too, to see what he can improve anywhere.
And for Eric Bieniemy to come back under Andy's wing, his goal in life is to be a head coach. We all know that. I think he needs to find a way to differentiate himself, and I do think he'll be focused on that. Man, we have almost talked through this entire first half. I'm sorry, folks, if you didn't plan to be with us this long. My apologies. We got a couple more, and then we will be out.
They got a doink.
Really?
Ooh, they doinked it.
Hard to compete in a ball game there, kid, if you can't get your job done. In terms of free agency, I really think Etienne is better fit than Hall. And on defense, I like Logan Hall and Boye Mafe. I think the Chiefs like Mafe too, as we did when we saw him in the Senior Bowl. And I'm big on LT over from Alabama. Reminds me of JPP. I haven't watched him yet, but he's on my list. He was on Spags D in 11. Yes, JPP was a role player. And I think you go back even to Tuck a little bit there in terms of like that body type.
Archetype. Okay. I don't have a problem with Etienne if they can get him on a decent number. I really don't.
Right. Yeah, it's about what you pay, right? What'd you think of McColl's TD? McColl's still alive and kicking, people.
Funny about that, the Bills ran that first, and the Chiefs took it and used it in the Super Bowl, and then they did it. The Bills said, "Yeah, we'll do it with you again, McColl," and he got another touchdown. Like, that's just.
Hey, we think you've run this before, right? You can pull this off. Let's go.
I love it. I loved it.
Good for McColl. If the Chiefs are unable to trade down, what do you take at 9? We'll end on Chris's question here. Just bottom line, what's your gut tell you? If you can't get out, what are you doing?
I mean, honestly, I'm. You guys know I'm taking Downs. I think he is the best player on the board, and if you were to tell me he turns into at worst a Kyle Hamilton type player, how many times out of 10 would you draft him at 9? Every single time. Every time. The Baltimore Ravens got him at 14. He fell to them.
Yeah.
I think you would have taken, if they redid that, he'd be a top 5 pick. I think Caleb Downs can have that kind of impact on a defense. So I'm taking Caleb Downs at 9.
Okay. I trust you. I have not watched him yet, so I would have to consider that.
This is also with the caveat of the guys that Ruben Bain being gone already. Okay. That I will add that caveat.
Right. And I think that's what he meant. I assume Chris's story was around Bain and Bailey being gone.
Okay.
I am leaning right now at this time off of what I've just seen in not watching him, but watching guys go against him. I'm leading Fano and pull him into the top 10. Hopefully he's not already gone as well. I think he's a natural right tackle, and I think anything you cannot go wrong protecting your quarterback. Bottom line.
No, I agree. I agree.
So that's where I'm at. Folks, thank you for your time and your dedication and hanging with us. We'll let you enjoy the second half on your own, and maybe we'll have some more. Dondre, I do have Gabe Jackas on my list as well. I don't think you can trade Rashee Rice. I don't think anybody's giving you much for him. Some Delane people in here. And hey, lots of good stuff going on there. We will have more for you. It is halftime of the national championship game, 10-0 Indiana. Thank you for spending your time with us. We'll have more for you. Going to be an interesting couple of weeks here. I'm going to be traveling outside the country, so going to have a couple of days where we probably won't have something for you, but I'll get you those mocks pre-recorded and pre-ready so that you can have all of your mock joy. Daniel, thank you for locking it down and for all your insights.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. I will be in Mobile next week. I leave on Sunday and I'll be in Mobile, Alabama next week. So we probably won't have a film review, but I will do my best to get something. I don't know if I can guarantee you guys something because they changed practice dates, times this year. So it's going to be a little bit of a different squeeze than normal, but I'll figure something out. And if not, I'll get you guys updated on everything from the Senior Bowl when I get back.
Yep. Look for some little drops from us in place of our normal Monday content, etc. And we'll have as much as we can for you as we go through when we're both on the road like this. So thank you for your time. Have a great night. Enjoy the second half. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.